Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another video. How's everybody doing? So it's that time of the week again. Time for NFL Week 11 picks, predictions, discussions, hot takes, hot air, all that stuff. Basically, every season since 2016, so this is the third season. I started doing it in 2016. I go through every game that's going on each week of the football season. Talk about who I think who's gonna win. Recap the last week. Basically, just talk about football. For like, 10 minutes or, however long, these videos end up being. So I started doing it then. Last year I forgot and somebody reminded me, so I did it again. And then now I just do it. So, week 11, only got 6 more weeks, or 7 more, so 11, 12, okay, so I guess 7 more weeks of football here. I mean, I'm kind of sad about that, because, I mean, it goes right by. I mean, this season, more than anything else, there's really been no defense this year. I mean, some people like it. Roger Goodell, that toolbox. He says, there's never been a better time to be an NFL fan, which I don't think so, because you got, the Rams, the Saints, the Chiefs. Just these like high-flying teams that don't play defense. Like there has to be defense. Like I really like to see a nice strong defense, like just pass rush, press man. Like I don't know. Like if it's just like an arcade game, if you get guys like there's no defense on the field and you got like every team scoring on every possession, then why even what? There's nothing really to see. It's just it's like an arcade game, like a pinball machine. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that. So, anyways, week 11, we'll go through these games and we'll see where we're at. So basically, at this point, we kind of know who the playoff teams are. We know who the playoff teams aren't. So we're kind of set up for the stretch run here at the end of the season. So some good games left to be played. Usually, like November, beginning of December is when the best games tend to be. So week 11, so Thursday night, Packers Seahawks. I got the Seahawks win this game. The Seahawks almost beat the Rams, went down to the final minutes. The Seahawks, I would say, like I think that like mindset, not only mindset but just like mental toughness is a very, very important thing in football. It's like teams like the Patriots. You can always count on like to not just make like dumb decisions, not to just make mistakes, not to just totally drop the ball and forget what they're doing or things like that. I think the Seahawks are another one of those teams that like intellectually is has their act together. They don't have all the personnel that they've had in years past, but they gave the Rams a run for their money. Even though the Seahawks, last couple of years really don't have a ton of personnel like they used to have 2013, 2014, 2015 to some extent. So it just shows you that at least mentally they can make the right decisions like they did against the Rams. The Packers, on the other hand, they lose to the Patriots a couple of weeks ago, and then this last week I'm not sure if they were on a bye week or what happened. Okay, no, they played the Dolphins, beat the Dolphins. So that's another team very similar to the Seahawks. I would say like Mike McCarthy, coach of the Packers. I think he's done. I think this is last year. I think they're going to get rid of him. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is another guy. He just hogs the ball, wants to go for the home run ball on every play. So you can't say the same thing. However, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is that whole team, and when it's on, it's on. When it's off, it's off. Neither team has the talent that they had a few years ago. But I would say that the Seahawks are going to win this game just because, you saw the Packers, pardon the pun, but pack it in against the Patriots a couple of weeks ago, and they saw that there was adversity. And the Seahawks are a team, when faced with adversity, like against the Rams last week, were able to stick in there until the later parts of that game. So I got the Seahawks winning this game. Next game up, Titans Colts. Give me the Titans. Titans last week, who they played? Yeah, they played New England. Very, very strong showing there. Patriots got pushed in that game. So I got the Titans win this game. Colts, not impressed with the Colts. it's so Andrew Luck comes back, and you think that because really like 2014 was their last like good season before you had Andrew Luck getting injured and you missing pieces, fire your head coach. It's they haven't had it together in a long time. They beat the Jaguars by 3, but the Jaguars are a shell of themselves. They beat the Raiders, beat the Bills, beat the Jets, lost them. Those aren't good teams. That doesn't really tell you a whole lot. The Titans, on the other hand, beat good teams. They beat the Cowboys. They have their act together. I got the Titans in this game. Next game Sunday, early afternoon. Buccaneers, Giants. Giants, Monday Night Football, took down the 49ers. Eli Manning in that game, say what you want about him. They looked like vintage Eli Manning, like just getting the ball out quick, finding the open guy, hanging in there in the pocket, making the big throws, crunch time decisions. He had it. He had it in that game. Buccaneers on the other hand are a dumpster fire. I got the Giants in this game, which the Giants at this point are just screwing up their draft position because that's really all they're going for this season. But what are you gonna do? Next game, Steelers Jaguars. So a year ago this would be a huge game, right? But since then the Jacksonville Jaguars have turned to crap. Their defense is toothless. It's really that team really took a dive. They lost to the Colts. They lost to the Eagles. They lost to the Texans. They got blown out by the Cowboys. Blown out by the Chiefs. Beat the Jets. Screw the Jets. Lost to the Titans. That team sucks. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, team's trending in the right direction. Pittsburgh's getting their act together. Le'Veon Bell, I believe, I'm recording this on Tuesday. I'm not sure when it's going to come out. Today's the deadline for the report. Reports are saying that he's not going to do that, so it seems like they moved past that drama. But, the Steelers, on the other hand, it's a team where this is all well and good, but they got to get to the playoffs, and they got to get to Kansas City, or they got to get to New England, and then we're going to see, what they're made out of in that game, in terms of what they're going to be able to do. In that spot, so I'm gonna hold out judgment on the Steelers until then. Panthers Lions next game up. Give me the Panthers. Lions are trash. Cowboys Falcons. Cowboys. I cannot stand. I cannot stand the Cowboys drama. Cowboys. People hate the Cowboys. I don't really hate them. I don't really have a problem with Jerry Jones. I hate the Cowboys drama. That's the problem. Cowboys, all right, fine. Football team, Jerry Jones, yeah, fine. The Cowboys drama, on the other hand, which, ESPN, pretty much every one of these, junk food news, sports news outlets loves they love that stuff. Nothing just, gets their juices flowing like drama that has to do with the Cowboys. I can't stand drama. I can't stand Cowboys drama, especially, even more so. Cowboys are playing the Falcons this week. Cowboys have made a little bit of a run. A few weeks ago, the Cowboys, they got friggin' obliterated by, or maybe obliterated is not the right word. They dropped the ball. They choke against the Redskins. They get smacked around 28-14 against the Titans. They beat the Eagles last week. They get the Falcons this week, so maybe they got it together. Who knows? I'm not holding out a lot of hope for that team. But in terms of teams that are getting shellacked, look no further than the Atlanta Falcons, who got beat 28-16 by the Cleveland Browns. The Falcons weeks before that, they beat the Redskins, beat the Giants. The Redskins are actually all right. Drop this on the floor and pick this up. So it's not a very good team, I would say. But Cowboys, I got the Cowboys winning this week just because it seems like they've gotten it, they've been bad enough where they got to win some games now to try to, this way, Jerry Jones can keep slamming down the cocktails. But he's probably going to do that anyways. But he's probably going to do that more if they lose. But, what are you going to do? There's that. I got the Cowboys winning this week. Bengals Ravens next game up. Give me the Ravens. Bengals were a fraud team the whole season, and everybody knew it. They've been exposed, blown to smithereens, 51-14 by the Saints. They were, they barely beat the Buccaneers 37-34. Give up 34 points to the Buccaneers. You suck. Blown out by the Chiefs, beat by the Steelers, So that early season run was not, you know, it was all for naught, you could say. I got the Ravens winning this game. Ravens, on the other hand, you know, they started out really strong. Then they struggled, beat by the Steelers, beat by the Panthers, beat by the Saints. You know, so I still feel good about that team. Just Harbaugh in that, and I keep dropping this freaking thing on the floor. I don't know. I got a bunch of golf tees on my desk. Like I won it at like some stupid thing I was at. It was like a golf tee thing, and they're on my desk. I don't know, I'm doing videos and just kind of like, you know, flipping and stuff. So anyways, notwithstanding that, so you know the Ravens. I'm always high on the Ravens. You got Harbaugh, who, for the most part, knows what he's doing. You know, he knows, you know, big spots. He knows how to win. He's passionate. Passionate really doesn't matter because a lot of coaches are passionate, but they don't know what they're doing. So Harbaugh, on the other hand, you know, like you saw earlier this season, really like in the first few weeks of the season, when they beat the Bills, the Broncos, the Steelers, 26-14, week 4, I believe that was, or week 3, no, week 4, okay. You know, it looked like that tough, physical, you know, the first week they 47-3. Win over the Bills, and the Bills suck, but you know, 47's 47. You know, you just saw that tough, physical Baltimore thing, which they've had, but the last few weeks it's started to slow down. They lose to the Steelers, lose to the Panthers, lose to the Saints by, you know, only by 1 point, which is impressive. Because the Saints, I got the Saints winning it all this year. This is the Saints year. We'll talk about the Saints. Are the Saints playing this week? Yeah, okay, we're gonna get to the Saints. So you know. Bengals, on the other hand, I'm not. They just hired Hugh Jackson from the Browns. I don't know. I got the Ravens in this game. I'm not a Bengals person. It's just not a trash, not trash, but just yuck. Bengals. All right. So, anyways, next game up, Redskins and Texans. The Texans, it feels like, have been firing on all cylinders. They beat the Broncos, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Jaguars, they beat the Bills, they beat the Cowboys. Holy cow, how many games have they won in a row? They haven't lost since like since September 23rd. They have not lost a game almost 2 months without losing a game. So Texans, watch out for that team. Texans feel like they got it going. Week 1, they got blown away by the Patriots. I mean, I remember that game. I was expecting to see Deshaun Watson show you what he showed everybody last season. You know, mobile quarterback. I mean, I gotta say, I thought he was the best in the business at that style of play. Pat Mahomes now, he's got it. He's you know, in terms of mobile, strong arm QB, Pat Mahomes has got it this year. But they've been turning things around. I like what Houston's been doing. The Redskins, on the other hand, were a team that was competitive for you know, large parts of the season, and still are. You know, even though they lost to the Falcons a couple of weeks ago, they beat the Buccaneers, beat the Giants, beat the Cowboys, beat the Panthers. Lost to the Saints. What are you gonna do? It's a team that's good but not going anywhere. I got the Texans winning this game. I think they're gonna keep going here. Raiders Cardinals, gross. The only reason this game is not like hidden at 1 o'clock Eastern is because it's West Coast, so I would that be like 12, so like maybe like 10 a.m. there, I guess. So I don't know. Do they have games that early on the West? I don't know. Maybe. I would think that they do them at 4 o'clock just to try to preserve that, you know, just the views that you get at 1 o'clock more so than like at freaking crack of dawn like some of these London games. But anyways, this is a garbage matchup. Give me the Raiders. It doesn't matter. Next game, Broncos Chargers. So I like the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to do something this season. I think it's a division. They're not going to the conference championship game. This conference championship game, you're talking about the Chiefs, you're talking about the Patriots, and you're talking about the Steelers. Are the Chargers going to get there? I don't know. I might even put them a little bit ahead of the Steelers. I don't know. I mean, Phillip Rivers has been having a career year this year. They're not going to the Super Bowl. They're not going to the conference championship game, but I can see them getting out of the wild card, going to the divisional round, and going like to, you know, like a New England or something like that, or going to. Well, actually, let's look at the playoff picture right now. That's probably a perfect time to check in because there's been some movement in the last week here. All right, so we'll go with so yeah, Chargers or AFC. So we'll talk about Chargers. So right now, Chargers will be the 5th seed in the AFC, which would mean wild card weekend they play the Texans, and then the winner of that would get the. Actually, no, the winner of that would get. Well, I guess they'd play whoever the lowest seed is would play the first seed, which right now is the Chiefs. So they'd either be at the Steelers or at the Chiefs. Again, if it started today, a lot of things are really going to change. You know, right now the Patriots dropped down to the 3rd seed. They're 7-3. Chiefs are 9-1. The Steelers are 6-2-1. You know, so I think what's going to happen is if you look at remaining schedules here, and I'll do this for the NFC. So the Chiefs, I think I almost know this off the top of my head. The Chiefs have a rough schedule. The Chiefs are playing. I think it's like the Rams, the Steelers, and the Chargers. They're going to lose one of those games. It's probably going to be the Rams. So the Chiefs will drop to 9-2. Or I guess I don't know if that's this week or is that this week? I think it's Monday Night Football of this week, this upcoming week. Patriots have a bye week, which helps them and hurts them. It helps them because that team was. You know, it was banged up. They needed the rest. I mean, it's going to hurt them because they're not going to really be able to, you know, cement anything until like the last couple of games of the year if they are going to. I think they're not going to be a wild card team. They're getting the bye. They've gotten the friggin' bye every year for like almost 10 years, maybe 9 years now. They've had the bye every, you know, they're either the 1st or 2nd seed every year. Almost 10 years now. I mean. So this last week, going into this last weekend, they were 1 game behind the Chiefs because they beat the Chiefs. The Patriots beat the Chiefs, so they're the tiebreaker. They just needed the Chiefs to lose one, them to win one. They just needed at least an even record, you know, for, you know, and then they would have the tiebreaker, and then the Patriots would be the number 1 seed. That didn't happen, and now I really don't think they're getting that number 1 seed because you would need you'd have to win all your remaining games. And you need the Chiefs to lose 2. They're definitely losing 1 game. They're probably going to lose to the Rams. Are they going to lose 2? I mean, the pace they're on, probably not. I mean, it's a team that's... The Chiefs are especially aware of the fact that they have come out strong every year and then it falls apart. I've even said that I thought... Keep it together. So anyways, like Dez Bryant, I can't hold on to this. So Dez Bryant out for the year, ACL. That's rough. The Saints. We're talking about the Saints. So, you know, the Chiefs are a team that's very aware of the fact that every year they start out strong and then they completely blow it. So I would think that being that aware of that, they're not going to repeat that mistake again this year. I mean, how could you? I mean, you're getting it's getting to be, you know, like the '90s Buffalo Bills. Like you get to the dance every year and you can't close the deal. I mean, it's not quite that bad, but you get the idea. So it seems like this year they're like, you know, this part of the year they're probably expecting that, okay, you know, we got to make sure that we got to play 60 minutes every week. You know, they're aware of that. They're going to lose the game. They're not going to win them. They're not going to win out here. They're not running the table. But that might be it. I don't think that they're going to lose 2. And because of that, I don't think that the Patriots will get the number 1 seed. Which, when you think about it, because the Patriots go to Super Bowl like almost every year, I think every year that they've done it, except for every year the Patriots have won the Super Bowl, except for 1 year, I think they were the number 1 seed, which means you know, home field throughout the playoffs, week 1 bye, and that's a team that the Patriots. I don't want to say they're bad. They just have been banged up, and I mean every team's banged up, but some more than others. I mean they haven't been too. They've been really banged up in previous years. This year is you know, like Gronk was. I don't know what it was like his back. I mean he's coming back, but they wanted to rest him just because they got a bye week, so it's going to be a few weeks. I think was the storyline. In New England, the running back banged up. You know, they're just not on the same page, disorganized, mental errors. You know, so I think that they'll get it together. They're not getting the number 1 seed. I feel like they're going to play the Steelers in next month, which I think that game could very well. I mean, I want to look at what the Steelers' remaining schedule is. So the Steelers, which I don't think is easy. Are playing the Jags, but that's kind of a paper drag in that game. The Jags, Broncos in Denver, never know what's going to happen there. Chargers, Raiders, Patriots, Saints, Bengals. All right, so yeah, all right, so the Steelers are not getting the number 2 seed because they're gonna. They'll beat the Jaguars because the Jaguars embarrassed them. Yeah, I think the Jaguars beat them. Yeah, in the divisional round last year, I believe. So yeah, so there's that. There's that revenge thing that they're gonna have going. So they, in effect, the Jaguars just are not as good as they once were. I got the Steelers winning that. Broncos and Denver. That's always tough going to Denver, but Denver sucks. So I mean, I'm gonna. I mean, all right. So Denver, they played some close games. So they lost by 7 to the Chiefs in Kansas City. They lost to the Titans by 2 points. They lost to the Rams by 3 points. They blew out the Cardinals, which sucked. They got blown out by the Jets. That was over a month ago. I'm not going to count on the Steelers losing that game. They're going to win that game. And then, Chargers, Rams, those are some losses in there. So I think the Patriots will end up with number 2 seed. So they'll have Chiefs, Patriots, Steelers. This is going in order from 1 seed to bottom. Chargers, who I'm not sure. The Chargers are 7-2 and the Texans are 6-3, but the Chargers are the 5th seed and the Texans are the 4th seed. So I think I don't know how that could put. Maybe probably because of divisions. Because I don't know how that's even possible actually. Because I guess Chargers are AFC West, Texans are AFC South. The only way, because I'm thinking maybe they played each other and the Texans won. The only way that would matter is if they had an even record. That's weird. But I'd have Chiefs, Patriots, Steelers, Chargers, Texans, and Titans. I don't think the Bengals are sticking around. They're both 5-4. I got the Titans getting in. I don't see how the Ravens or any of those other teams are going to do it. So, yeah. So I think that's probably going to be about your playoff picture as far as the AFC is concerned. So and then the Chargers, I feel like are going to be a playoff team. And right now, if that was the case, they'd end up being, I think they'll be the 4th seed, which would put them in New England for the, well, actually, no, they'd end up playing, if we went with what I said, it would probably be the Texans. Yeah, it would probably be like the Texans or the Steelers, possibly. The Chargers would have to play. I could see them winning that game, go to New England divisional round. That's probably what we're looking at here. I feel like the Chargers are going to make noise this year. They're just not going to. They're going to make noise, but they're not going anywhere. So let's say that's kind of been the story of the Chargers for the last 15 years or so. So, anyways, that's what I got on the Chargers. I got them winning this game. Eagles and Saints. New Orleans Saints. Holy cow. This team, I got winning them all this year. And it's because they're doing what you do when you have a quarterback who's probably getting to the end. Not that he's playing poorly. He's just, they're due. You can put it that way. New Orleans, they're due to win. And they go out, and it's like that team could not have any more of a high-powered offense than they have. And they go out there, and they're still signing receivers. They're bringing in Des Bryant. They're bringing in. It's like just it's like they've got every receiver. Michael Thomas playing out his mind. Holy cow, that Saints team! Like it's like the Saints. It's like 50 points a week with that team at least. So it's that team's got it, man. They're playing the Eagles this week. Eagles don't have a shot. This team is freaking awesome. The problem with the Saints, it's like, let's say, this is like looking way too far ahead, but if you look at the NFC playoff picture here, right now, Rams number 1, Saints number 2, and the Saints beat the Rams, but the Rams, I think the Saints had a bye week and the Rams haven't, so the Rams are 9-1, Saints are 8-1. I feel like the Saints, let's see what the Saints' remaining schedule is. The Saints' remaining schedule is the Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys, Buccaneers, Panthers, Steelers, Panthers. Okay, so that's... If they lose any of those games, it's going to be the Steelers, but I wouldn't count on that. So I got the Saints being the number 1 seed in the NFC, Rams number 2. Right now the Bears are number 3, but that feels like that's not going to last. I mean, as far as the NFC is concerned, it's the Rams and it's the Saints. All the other teams... I keep dropping them. I got to chill out here. It's the Rams and it's the Saints. Okay, Rams and Saints, and then there's just all these other Panthers and Redskins are all right, but I mean, those come on, I mean, those teams can do. It's the Rams and the Saints. Well, in the AFC, you got the Chiefs, you got the Patriots, you got the Steelers, you got the Chargers. I mean, there's a few teams there. NFC, Rams and Saints, and I got the Saints. I got the Saints winning again. If they get the Rams in the playoffs, there's that whole revenge thing, you know, that the Rams lost. I think that the Rams are overrated. I've thought that the whole year. The LA Rams are an overrated. They're a good team, high-powered offense, talented team, overrated. All right, the Rams, as we saw, when they're playing from behind, there's some adversity. That's when you get them off their game, which means if the Rams game is come out fast, score early, play with the lead. If you get them off of that, if you bring pressure on Jared Goff, who's overrated as hell. Jared Goff is a role player, all right? You can put most any quarterback in there, and because of the fact that they've got all these receivers, and they got Gurley, and they got, like, everything that they've got, the story with the Rams is not the quarterback, it's all the pieces around the quarterback who are tremendously talented. But if you bring pressure at him, you get him off his spot, you play some defense, and you make them play from behind, you make them play a style of play that they're not familiar with, they're not going to win. So that's my 2 cents on the Rams. So I got the Saints beating that team, in the playoffs. But anyways, I would have, in terms of playoff picture, more or less what it is now. But I think the Saints will be number 1, Rams number 2. Panthers probably number 3, and then probably like Redskins, and probably Bears, Redskins, Vikings. In which case you probably have like Rams and like the Panthers, or like Rams and the Bears divisional round. But really it's about the Saints, and the rest of it's just kind of academic at this point. So yeah, the Saints here. I got the Saints win it all. I just don't see who's stopping the Saints. Very early Super Bowl prediction. I would say if you look at the AFC, you'd have, like I said, Chiefs number 1, Patriots number 2. You'd get a divisional round game against the Chargers, who will give them a run for their money, but they always win that game. I mean, they've got a conference championship game almost every year for like 9 years, 8 years now, in New England. Then you'd have Chiefs would beat whoever they got in the divisional round, and then you would have. Yeah, then that would set up New England in Kansas City for the AFC Championship game. That's a tough one. I feel like the Patriots did beat the Chiefs, but in the playoffs in Kansas City, that's a whole different animal. Because that Kansas City is up there with Denver and Seattle and all those places that get loud and turned up, where that's a factor. Kansas City's absolutely one of those venues where you got to think about that. Could New England win in Kansas City? Not the way they're playing right now. They're not going to. But they're always ready to go in those kind. I don't think they've ever gotten, I mean, at least like in the modern era, have gotten like blown away in a conference championship game. They lost them. They lost a close one in Denver a few years ago. And then, a few years before that. So, I mean, I think, it's tough. What I fear is that, and I just got an email that I'm looking at. I probably shouldn't be doing that right now. Okay, so anyways, I think that my fear with the Chiefs is that there's an injury coming with that team. Because this season, like last year, the last few years have been like just awful in terms of like star players and quarterbacks getting injured and missing the season. This year, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it, but, you go across the line. Drew Brees, Jared Goff, he's a role player. It doesn't matter. Cam Newton, Deshaun Watson, Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger, Mariota, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. They're all healthy, so it's I mean, there's some other guys around them that aren't. But, that's part of, I think, it's an overlooked reason why there's so much scoring this year. These guys are healthy, which is something we have not had in like forever. That's like that never happens. Usually, one of these guys goes down. And my fear, honestly, and I'm not trying to jinx it, I feel like Patrick Mahomes might he might get blown up on a play. And I feel like, because you think about it, like you had like last year, Aaron Rodgers goes down. The year before, Derek Carr goes down. The year before that, I mean, just go down the list. Like every year, there are these good teams that, at the end of the year, they don't make it because their playmaker goes down. And I feel like, you know, it's like just the statistics of that are very low that you get this far and nobody got hurt. So I feel like, I'm not trying to jinx the Chiefs, but I feel like Patrick Mahomes or like one of those guys. I mean, they've been on a roll. Like it's very hard to maintain that, and so I feel like that could happen. In which case, I'd have the Patriots winning. But if it's just straight, like if you played that game, I don't want to say if you play the game today because that game wouldn't be played today. But like all else being equal, nobody else gets hurt other than like what the story is now. Say both teams have their act together. I'd still have to go with the Patriots winning that game, only because the Patriots beat the Chiefs a few weeks ago, and that's one of those games where there's like no defense, and it's just whoever has the ball last. And I feel like in a conference championship game, really any game, could the Chiefs dial up some defense when they need it? No, I just don't think that that's going to happen. Because the Patriots, on the other hand, you got Bill Belichick, you got whoever the new defensive coordinator, I don't even know if they have one, whoever that guy is. And you've got some talented players who we've seen it, like in the Super Bowl against the Falcons. They come up and they sack. What's his name? Matt Ryan. Last year the cornerback Gilmore, Stephon Gilmore, I think. You know, knocks down that pass at the end of the game to send them to the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl, they could not do jack on defense, but that was only because. Those were a few reasons. Malcolm Butler wasn't there. Linebackers weren't good. You know, and the Eagles really knew that game plan on how to beat them, which is, I think that they're aware of now. And I feel like the Patriots on defense, I mean, you're not stopping the Kansas City Chiefs. That team is a freaking powerhouse. Could you get a few, I mean, but on the other hand, if nobody's playing defense and it's a high-scoring game, the difference is going to be like one possession, right? So could you get one stop? I think they can, and I think they win that game by a very close margin. Chiefs could very easily win. I think you could have a Patriots-Saints Super Bowl. I think this. And then again, I feel like that's going to be like one of those old crafty Belichick game plans where somehow they find a way to win. But I still got to stick with my prediction of the Saints. It could be Saints-Chiefs. It could be Saints-Patriots. All I know is the Saints are going. So, you know, that's kind of my outlook on the rest of the season. Next game, Vikings Bears. Give me the Bears. Rams-Chiefs. Oh, Rams-Chiefs. Game of the week, Monday night. Rams and Chiefs. All right, so. Wow, this is interesting. This is already half an hour. Holy crap, this is a long video. It'll take forever to upload. Rams and Chiefs. So I mean, I've kind of already talked about both of these teams. I feel like the Rams are going to win. The Rams lost a couple weeks ago. They almost lost against the Seahawks. There's some troubling signs in that team, and I feel like they have to come out and have a statement game this week. Chiefs, on the other hand, Chiefs are doing what the Chiefs do. But, you know, I wouldn't put it past a team like, I mean, you have to be talented like the Patriots were when they beat the Chiefs. The Rams are talented. In terms of coaching, can they get some stops? I think they can. Like, as the season goes on, it's hard to win every week. It's hard to get blowouts every week. Hard to put up 50 points every week. This game we've had circled on the calendar for a long time. I got the Rams winning this game just because it's, you know, I think the Chiefs are due to lose and the Rams have to prove something. I got the Rams winning this week. All right, guys, let's go through this week's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you agree, disagree with any of my takes, let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, until next time, that was it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.